Hi, and welcome to the Sassy Merit podcast, where we dive into the most controversial topics in the equestrian world.
We give our unfiltered opinions and say the things that others won't.
With 4 hosts from different backgrounds, we bring a mix of perspectives, experiences, and even a few debates.
So saddle up, it's going to be a fun one.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Sassy Merit podcast. I am Amy.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Alex.
And we have something to address.
Yeah.
Set the dramatic tone, lights come down, sad music plays.
Tiny violin.
Tiny violin. Ellie left.
Ellie is no longer a sassy mare.
She is just a regular old mare now, I guess.
A free mare.
A free mare.
She is gone for the foreseeable. Just a lot of other life commitments, I guess, and we are now a trio from now on.
Trio going forward, but we have potentially will be getting I'm trying to think substitute mares in every now and then.
Like little special guests.
Special guests and stuff, trying to do a bit more maybe in-person interviews and pros, so that's exciting. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, good has came out of it, although we're going to miss her and stuff. It has been we've had to sort of review everything.
Yeah.
And we've now come up with some more fun ideas and a new schedule and stuff like that. So it's not all doom and gloom, and we will still be hanging out with her and seeing her all the time.
Yeah, it's no bad blood as unlike with falling out.
Oh yeah, we probably should have made that a lot more clear actually. No, she's still my friend. We're still friends.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's hard to juggle a lot when you've got this as a commitment and then personal life. It's hard to find that balance. So something had to give, and it was the podcast.
Yeah. Sad, but anyway, us mares are still here, so you still got all the fun with us. If Ellie was your favourite character, please don't unsubscribe.
We're sorry.
I'll put her in a TikTok once every year to make sure that you don't leave us.
Your favourite mare. We're collectible items.
Yeah, like a TV show.
And we figurines.
Yeah, Funko Pops. Should we get Sassy Mar Funko Pops?
If this we hit 10,000 subs.
I'm gonna get ChatGPT to make Funko Pops of us.
Oh my god, then when we get an office or something, you had good things above us.
Oh, that'd be so
and
good.
then with a neon sign in the background saying the Sassy Mares.
Yeah. But anyways, apart from that...
Until we get 10,000 subscribers.
We'll have a little catch up. It's been our new thing at the start of the app.
Yes, I missed this last time.
Yeah, you weren't here for the catch up.
I was in Tesco's apparently.
She was in Tesco's. Oh yeah, I'm still the reigning mare. What's everyone been up to? How's life? The last time we talked about was that Ellie was dealing with colic, and then that's what I've been dealing with. So I'm sad these days.
Yeah, Elsie colic.
Yeah, tragic. And I also had a product launch, and then she was like, "Sorry, you're busy." So. Yeah, she's alright now, but that's been my life for the past few days anyways.
I don't really have any exciting updates.
No?
All I've done is...
We updated on cricket already, didn't we?
Yeah, all I've done is work and get sunburnt.
Goals.
I don't even know.
We haven't seen you in a while.
What have I been up to?
Going to Tesco loads, just...
Yeah, they're going in Tesco's quite a lot. Go there. Yeah, every week I'd say. No, I have no updates.
Okay, well that was awkward. So let's just move on. Well, we can't do a controversy then?
We didn't introduce what this episode is.
Yeah, we'll tell them now.
Oh.
Okay, so the controversial topic for Canter and Controversy is, drumroll, naughty horses. And actually, I want to ask you a straight up yes or no question before we get into it. Do you think a horse can be naughty, Robin?
No.
Do you think a horse can be naughty? Yes or no?
Yes, but... in context.
No context. I also think they can be naughty.
Oh. I can't see myself out.
So this is a great start. She's a maybe, you're a no, and I'm a yes. So my thing is, I'm just letting myself explain because it was my rules. I didn't let you, but I'm gonna explain. In the context of if your horse is bucking like crazy and bites you when you put the saddle on, that's not naughty. There's something wrong. In the context of my horse is a naughty girl because she'll try and barge out of the stable past me and she'll try and eat my pockets, and I think that's naughty.
See, I get that, but I don't think it's inherently naughty.
She's a naughty girl.
Yeah, okay, she's a naughty girl in air quotes, she's doing things that you would class as naughty, but they're not. It's reacting to environment is what I would say. Is she barging by because she's going out in the morning? Is she barging by because there's a hay net outside? Things like that is what
All of the above.
So I wouldn't say it's naughty. I would say it's reacting to your environment.
Okay, well, I think this is naughty. She tips over my wheelbarrow.
She's just like, thanks for mucking at my stable, Mom. Don't worry,
She just like rubs her chest against
You're
it.
just itching. She's not doing it on
No,
purpose.
she's not itching. It's not itchy. She's just rubbing it.
How do you know? Did she
has,
tell you that?
No, she has sensory issues. And so she does, and she'll like put her like back of her knees against it and just gently rub. Not scratch, just gently rub. She puts her face on it and gently rubs. She's just weird. And then she tips it over. And I'm like, that's naughty. The hell?
I see what you mean in terms of naughty.
She's cheeky more than naughty.
Cheeky.
She's a cheeky girl.
Yeah.
But that was my point as well. Like, I think ridden, no, not so much. But I think things like that, it's
Yeah.
like, it's naughty, it's cheeky. It's not.
Yeah.
Cheeky's just
Whereas,
a cuter word.
like, if something was constantly bucking over on their saddle and you were going, my horse is naughty, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick it.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as like barging out of the stable. Like if that's like the first thing they do in the morning, it's probably because they want out. Like I don't think that's naughty behaviour. I think it's just poor ground manners and cheeky. Sorry.
Yeah, but cheeky and naughty is the same thing, isn't it? It's a synonym. It's a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I guess. But I think that I think it is a context thing though.
Yeah.
Isn't everything?
Yeah. I guess, but like
So the pain, behavioural versus pain, sort of, is like the main topic of this, really. So how do you know when it's like? How do you know? Like, is it just bad training or is it pain? Like,
no, I think there's a very distinct pain face that horses have.
see, this is the thing. I don't think a lot of people
Know
are
that.
aware
Yeah.
of what the pain face looks like. I can see it in my horse, but I've had horses before who've had pain face almost all the time because something's been wrong and I haven't looked, or their owners or whatever hasn't looked into it.
Yeah, it's a chronic pain then. Like
Yeah, and they just always
Yeah.
have wee sad eyes or like tight lips,
Mm-hmm.
flaring nostrils,
Yeah.
and backwards ears all the time. And it's something that you sort of have to study. You have to know your horse's face.
But is that because we see them so often that you don't understand what it actually is? Like when you're watching like 5-star riders go, like are they showing a pain face? But because their horses are 5-star horses, you kind of deem it as like normal
Yeah.
because they receive the best care. Is that why you think people don't know what it is?
Maybe that actually brings up a separate point. I was going to say about you know the way there's like a stigma that like the talented ones are always naughty. You know,
Oh,
like
because they have like the blood in them.
yeah. But is there a lot of horses that will probably be brushed under the rug of just like, oh, they're hot and they're
It's the
crazy.
same thing as a chestnut mare then. Like if it's
Yeah.
chestnut and it's a mare and it's bucking, it's because it's a chestnut mare. But if it was a big gelding, would you investigate it?
Yeah.
Maybe it falls under that rug.
Yeah, because like the top level show jumpers and the top level everything really,
Mm.
they're always like they are always a wee bit nuts. You see them going around and bucking and like hot and hot.
But some of them aren't.
Some of them are docile, but then I'm going to say the same thing. A lot of those 5-star horses are probably not in decent turnout. Like just that, and
very,
they're
very fresh.
They're probably fed like a really high protein, high calorific diet that maybe sends them a bit loopy. Is that maybe why then they're bucking and stuff?
Then but then like how do you tell the difference? So how do you know? Like as us as people, how do we know what one's is like normal? If you're just a viewer watching things, how do you know what one is just a wee bit fresh or what one's
Yeah.
actually like that saddle is hurting them, or probably not. They probably have like a million saddle fitters or whatever, or like their back
Would you be
sore or
surprised?
really.
Yeah, because a lot of those people are like sponsored by saddle brands. A lot of saddle brands don't fit all the types of horses that are out there. Like that's why there's so many different types of saddle brands. But a lot of if you're sponsored by a saddle brand, but like and you would like a yard of like 20 plus horses, that saddle brand is not going to fit all those horses. And a lot of
You feel very passionate about this because I've
you've
just
something to say there.
No,
You're
I've
like smirking like
I've just watched the TAC episode where Robin says the exact same. Like you're very passionate about this.
About saddles.
sponsored saddles.
I think there's a
Yeah.
clear telltale sign when a horse is uncomfortable.
Swishy tail.
Swishy tail, pinned ears,
Yeah.
versus when a horse is like
Excited. Or
fresh or excited.
Do you think horses can get excited?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
I don't know. This is. I feel like is this in this topic? Is this
Should our
naughty?
should our pro be a horse?
Just Pepsi into the mic. I don't know because see when people are like, oh, they love their job. Do they? Would they not rather be in the field? I don't know. Can they actually get excited? Like, whoa, I can't wait to jump.
I
Or
have
is it
I have
more-
ridden horses who have been completely different the second you put the jump up.
Yeah, I have too. But is that excitement, or is that like could
Learned
there be
anxiousness.
That's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
well,
Could it be a
true.
bit of anxiousness, or
Yeah.
like maybe they are a wee bit sore and they know what happens when they take off and when they land, so they're starting to get a bit agitated. Like, are they able to get excited? Do they have that in their brain? Should I stop and Google that?
Yeah, I think this is a good point to Google because I know horses can't pre-plan. Like when people say that their horse like is always spooky in one corner and they're like planning that, they can't do that.
They don't have the brain capacity.
They don't
for
have that function.
Oh my
in their
god,
brain.
no! And they're like, oh, he's only being naughty because he knows like he can get me off, and I'll like, no, shut up.
Horses can't think like that.
Literally
Horses
shut
as
up.
I'm saying, horses react to the environment in the moment that they're in.
Or when people are like, he only pretends to be lame, so I'll stop riding him. Sorry.
No, your horse is
It's just
lame.
it's lame, and maybe it's really stiff at the start of a ride. That's why it only seems to happen then. Your horse is not like, I didn't get the chalkboard out. I will pretend to go lame on Monday at 8 a.m. and she will
Yeah.
keep me off until Friday. Like, no.
Yeah, so I missed like my competition.
like,
no, like your horse
shut
is
up.
lame.
Your horse is lame. Don't be so stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back to Googling. Just pause for a rant.
Yeah. I'd like to know if they can be excited.
Well, you're about to find out. I'm glad you're in the right place.
What do you think?
I think in a lot of cases, like, excitement is just down to being fresh.
Yeah, but what is freshness?
Well,
Build
like,
up energy?
build up energy, yeah.
Yeah.
If like, there's been times when I've got on horses that haven't been sat on in like months, and it's like,
Mm.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then a week later, they're a totally different horse.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's fresh.
Apparently, they do possess the brain capacity to experience excitement.
Okay, they can get excited, but like I said, is that I'm excited to get my dinner?
According to this,
And can they be excited for work?
engaging in activities like running, bucking, or interactive play with other horses, producing whinnies or neighs, anticipating feeding or social interaction, and displaying pricked ears, elevated tails, and increased movement or alertness. So it doesn't say anything about actually riding.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like
So they can get excited for, like, I get
To be a
excited for
horse?
dinner.
Yeah,
I
they're
get excited to
yeah.
see my friends.
It's like when you put them in the field and they're all snorty and tail up.
Yes,
I
that's
would look at that
excitement.
horse and go, that horse is excited.
Yes.
No, see, I wouldn't. I would look at it and be like, why is he doing that? Like, is his tail up and it's trotting around because his friends have left it?
But what if his friends haven't?
I don't know. I feel like a horse goes out and has his tail up and is trotting about. Like, I would go on the line of anxiousness before I would go on the line of excitement.
Yeah, do you know, I
Because-
probably would actually.
Because if my horse is out enough, going out to field isn't exciting anymore. That was how I would see it. Like, that's daily norm. But if your horse hasn't been out in 6 months and then you put it out and does that, that's maybe probably excitement and a bit of stress because it's out of its environment.
Yeah.
Like if Pepsi went out with her tail in the air and was trotting about it like something wrong. Like that's not
But
the
I
Pepsi
would
behaviour.
say that about Pepsi.
Yeah, it's not Pepsi
That
behaviour.
would be so weird if it was Pepsi.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now I'm questioning my whole life. Can horses be excited
For dinner, yeah.
for dinner?
Yeah,
Me too,
for
girl. Like, I get it. Honestly. I wish Elsie was excited for dinner, but she's off her feet, so.
Oh.
It's like a trauma dump in the middle of that.
Starts
Elsie
the,
doesn't do dinner.
the little violin again. Why is it the tiniest one you could find?
Oh, I'm doing to get my lard.
I was doing this! I was doing this!
My cello. Humongous one.
Boom, boom, boom. Back to naughty then, so we've covered excitement, so back to naughty.
So how do you differentiate between naughty and if horses can be excited excitement?
Naughty, excitement, and pain, I think, can all display similar
Similar.
behaviours. So you could see something, it depends on the person whether they would say one of those three things, in my opinion.
But there's been times on social media I've seen a post from someone who's like gone under their ring and their horse is bucked like before every fence and between every fence and when it finishes and they're going, he was so excited to be out today. I was like, that thing looks sore.
Yeah.
The tail's going, the ears
Yeah.
are flat back. I was like, that.
See, I wouldn't say it's excitement, but if you're riding your horse and you maybe haven't jumped in a while and they do one wee buck like after you land or something,
Yeah, okay.
I can see that
Yeah.
once, maybe
Yeah.
twice. Anything more than that, it's sore in my opinion.
Mhm.
But even at that, it could still be sore if it's only doing it once or twice. Or it's just a good, well-behaved horse that doesn't want to, or doesn't reactive and doesn't want to throw you off. You know, like for example, like I've had horses like Rue. Rue would literally could have 3 legs and he still would have jumped for you. He was just that.
Stoic.
Yeah, he was just a good boy. Whereas other horses like have a tiny cut in their foot and they won't do anything for you. You know, it just depends on the horse's like how much its spirit's been broken, I guess.
Yeah. But then horses, like with the type of thing that they are prey animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not like Rue saying, oh, you go around on 3 legs. Like that's what he would do to prevent himself from being like easy pickings. But you know, like when
Thinks I'm going to eat him?
maybe
Oh no!
you're excited for your dinner.
My dinner is not my lone pony.
But no, do you know what I mean? No, so it's like if a horse like stands on a stone or gets a little prick on its foot, like if it's hobbling,
Yeah.
like it's easy pickings. Wonder if that's why he was like so stoic.
So why are these like these new young horses, this generation of horses?
It's because it's those goddamn phones, you mean? Is that TikTok?
Like iPad ponies with their big hoofs like on the iPad.
It's projecting like what's a spirit on the wall for them to watch when they do dinner.
Oh, that's so cute.
Should we do that? Like a drive-in movie for them?
Yeah. But yeah, so it, like I do think it's personal opinion, but I think
it depends on the horse too, for the owner. Like if your horse is randomly started bucking and it never bucks, that's probably
Something's
something to be
wrong, yeah.
investigated. But like you said, if your horse after its first jump, after being off for winter, bucks and it's always what it's done its whole life,
Well, like your woman. Oh, what's her name?
Laura Collett.
I look forward to those videos.
Yeah,
every year.
London 52, like his first jump after his big events. It's usually at the start of the year, isn't it?
And she gives him like a few months off jumping and
Yeah.
then brings him out and he's all squealing and
bucking.
getting on like
Yeah.
a silly
But
boy.
he only seems to do it once.
He
and
does
then
it once,
he
yeah.
never does, well,
So-
once a set, like he does it in that session, and then once that session's done, what we know, he never does it again.
so. Do we brush that as excitement then, or naughtiness?
That's what I'm saying. I think it does depend on.
Your horse.
In your view,
Yeah.
some people who like she knows that's coming, she's expecting it. She might even find it funny because she knows like just
Yeah.
that would be excitement to her. But somebody else might brush that as naughty.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then well, it's only done once. You probably wouldn't brush it as pain because it's not. He only does it the once.
Well,
Yeah.
they're saying they have him checked everywhere, head to toe.
Yeah.
And he's completely fine. So I think in that case I would be like, that is excitement.
So this is another
Freshness.
thing though. People are saying like their horse is behaving like naughty, and then they're like, oh, we've had it vet checked, but like that doesn't.
You're
I'm
never
sorry,
gonna
but-
know until it's like a CT scan.
Yeah, like it could, and then your vet, no harm, might be crap as well. You might
Not
have a
only
bad
that,
vet,
but
Or it could
like
be
have
something
you
else.
have you also got your saddle checked?
saddle, teeth,
your bridle.
physio, like bit even.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things.
There's so many things that can be making your horse uncomfortable enough to act out,
Mm-hmm.
aside from all a vet can check.
And
Yeah,
a vet,
yeah.
it depends on your vet as well. If you have like a more old traditional vet, they might just go like a different
He
approach.
is being naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick on.
Uh-huh.
But it's like a vet can only see externally.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't know what's going on
They do
inside.
not have
They-
X-ray vision.
No, they can't see bones, they can't
Yeah.
see ligaments, they can't see potentially ulcers, like there's so much they can't see. So if your horse is getting vet checked, surely it needs to go for the works and not just a lameness evaluation.
Yeah, like a full MOT.
Yeah.
Literally, like I mean in a CT scan.
Like thousands and thousands of pounds.
Yeah. Like
And who's doing that? I'm sorry. Like,
I would say people probably do.
would you? If Pepsi was randomly acting weird, would you spend like over $1,000 to CT scan her?
I think it's probably gonna be over 10 grand. I don't.
No.
I like $1,000, you're lowball, and that's like a sketchy one you get in the alleyway. Like, and it's just some guy
My
with
vet's
like,
off Craigslist.
like a guy with like metal detectors. Turning her back.
Just Barry.
Barry's in the sketchy alleyway. CT scan horses.
Okay, well then, now that I know it's $10,000, I guess your answer's no.
No, I honestly, I think if I feel like she needed it, I probably would
Yeah,
do
you
it.
are kind of crazy that way, you would.
She's my little baby.
I know, it's like you give birth to her like you did.
I did, like I actually did. There's like photos of me pregnant with her, like it's crazy. I give birth to her. It's wild.
What a wild time.
Yeah, it was.
You were like 17 pregnant with a horse. You weren't 17-year-old, were you?
When I got her,
Yeah.
I was 19, I think.
19 pregnant with a horse.
I know.
Fucking teenage mom.
I know, it was crazy. And I birthed the horse, like, what?
It's disgusting.
She is my child, though.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't, like, honestly,
Oh.
I would be questioning the $1,000 CT scan.
But then, does that come from down that she is your lone horse?
Suppose.
Would be the same for you? Like, it's a lone horse? I don't want it to come off wrong, though, as in, like, it's just a lone. I just feel, I don't know how to word it, but, like,
I mean, if it was something that was that expensive, I'd probably say to your owner, like, y'all, are we doing this? Like,
Yeah.
halfers?
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not, that sounds like I wouldn't do, if my horse was acting naughty and I needed to know,
You would do it.
I would probably go as far as I possibly could.
That's
But
what I
if
was
it
going to
started
say.
to go into the thousands and she isn't mine, like if I had thousands, I'd buy her. You know, I don't have that. That's why I don't have her. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I would
I
do.
think we spoke about this on a previous episode as well, didn't we? Vet bills and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you don't want to put yourself into like financial ruin.
Yeah, and it's hard because, like, if you do just work a 9 to 5 job and your horse is acting naughty, or you might just want to sweep it under the rug because you know you can't, like, there's nothing you can do to go and make an extra grand
I think
on
people
top.
are afraid sometimes to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the knowing is scary
Yeah.
sometimes.
Ignorance is bliss, isn't what they say?
Yeah, but
Because if you do know, and you say you're working your normal job, you get by, you pay your mortgage, you pay your horse, and maybe you don't have a whole lot to spare. If you go and figure out if your naughty horse actually is in crippling pain and you have to get like kiss and spine surgery or something like that, and you know you can't afford it, do you maybe just turn a blind eye and act like it is naughty?
see, I think then if you're going to continue to ride and you have a gut feeling that something's wrong there, and you're not investigating it, like if you feel like that, like you just turn them away until you have the money,
Yeah.
instead of continuing to potentially make a problem worse. Like, if you're riding something like is compensating, it's going to continue on to make it worse in other areas too.
Yeah.
Like, you could just put them away for a year or two. Maybe then, if it, obviously kiss and spine is maybe different, but like if it was like a slight lameness issue, could have got better in the 2 years, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know. It is a tough one, but I'm still on the stance that I don't think horses can be naughty.
So there's no scenario. Not one single scenario.
Give me scenarios.
Right, well, that's the game later on, so.
Tune in later.
Watch this episode to the end.
Yeah.
For
Underridden, I don't think horses can be naughty. I really don't.
Isn't napping technically naughtiness?
No, I don't think so.
It
Again,
technically is. Like, if a horse naps at the gate, that's naughty. There's nothing wrong there. It's not sore. It just wants to go to the gate because
In
that's how
my
you get
opinion,
out.
in my opinion, that's a learned behaviour.
But learn naughtiness.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's
a lot
not
of behaviour that is naughty is
learned.
yeah.
Isn't everything learned? Isn't that
Sorry.
how you exist? Wait, what?
But like, if you're riding a horse and you constantly stop at the gate, it's gonna nap at the gate.
Yeah. if
Oh,
you
so it's
always
technically
get
not
off.
naughtiness. It's actually you're the
It's
naughty
like,
one.
yeah, more or less.
Well, how can you not constantly stop at the gate? That's how you get out. What are you going to go ride for eternity?
No, like if
Stop at the other side of the lane and then walk them to the gate when
Yeah.
you're off them.
I open the gate while I'm still on them.
no, but that's fair.
Yeah.
She doesn't nap. She's a queen.
No, that's fair. But it's like if you ride a lap, stop at the gate to have a chat to someone. Ride a lap, stop at the gate. Your horse is gonna nap at the gate.
It's going to learn to stop. Like, that's his
Yeah.
rest period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because I used to ride a pony for a wee girl, and it would just turn into the middle. If there was someone stood in the middle,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
would just go boop.
But you
I think
always
a lot of horses do that.
you
though.
learned that in the riding school though. Like, the riding school would always tell you do not turn in until you're at a walk.
Oh.
Yeah, I would be riding school that taught you that. Like, if you like don't trot into the middle and stop. Like, you walk half lap and then you turn into the middle.
I know this that you could be cantering, this thing would just like drop the shoulder and go into the middle of the
You're
rider.
like rolling off its side.
So is that not naughty?
No, that's a learned behaviour.
Yeah, I don't think it's naughty. I think your horse is napping. It's napping for a reason. Like, it actually could be sore and not want to work, and it knows the arena is work, so it's trying to get out of the arena.
That's what I was going to say, because what's the difference in Elsie, who literally opens the gate for me every single time I ride?
Roller roof.
She and do you know what her learned behaviour is? She used to be scared of it, and now she likes it. Well, I don't know if she likes it, but she tolerates it.
Yeah, so she's
But that's
learned
a positive
yeah, she's-
change.
Yes, so that's what I was going to say. So what would be the difference in her opening the gate every time and not napping ever versus a horse that does nap? Because is that horse not more prone to being naughty than she is?
Well, you finished your ride. Like, you're not trotting around mid-ride and she's like, right, I'm going to open this gate with my hoof. Like,
She doesn't use her hoof, guys.
how did she open it then?
Rue used to use his lip and open it. It was class.
So, but you've stopped. You're done your ride. You've probably loosened your girth. Like,
Yeah.
they probably know.
No, sometimes I go out down the road after.
But they're, I think they, like,
I
you're
think that's a
leaving.
different situation.
You're not
I think y'all are
actively-
trying to make excuses.
No, you're not actively cantering around trying
What
to
if I
work on
canter?
something.
I open
Right,
the gate and
yeah.
then I canter out.
On the concrete.
It's like
Because
dust.
when
It's not
I
concrete.
at my old yard, I used to finish my ride, open the gate, go for a dander.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
but I wasn't stopping at the gate. My finished ride would be stopping somewhere else around the school, drop my reins, give them a pat.
When they
Okay,
know they're
walk
done.
on.
Yeah.
That's not finishing your ride at the gate's different.
What do you view a napping as?
It could be anything from rearing or turning towards somewhere they're not supposed to be going, or
Like turning to hoe?
stopping, or yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going past the gate and they stop, or they turn towards it, or they rear, or anything like that, would be napping to me.
And you don't think that would be naughty or a pain? Like, if a horse is rearing towards the gate, like, I think that's...
That's a pretty big cry for help.
I think a lot of napping is negative association as well. Like
With
if your
what?
horse if your horse is on the road rearing and napping to go home,
One, it could be scared.
it could be scared, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't like hacking alone. Or two, it's like, I want to go home. Like, this hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contact me, please.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. But then, yeah, I suppose. Okay, continue. I was just getting through all that and up
Your
here.
mind. Have we changed your mind?
No.
Damn.
Well, I do get that. I get, this is what my brain was saying there now. I do get that they might be scared, but like, what are you supposed to do about that?
Groundwork.
But how can you groundwork a hack? You can take them on. You can take them yourself long rein, or you can walk them.
Yeah.
But the next time you get on, they might rear again.
No,
Yeah, you
positive
just have to work through
associations.
I could not
Thank you, Alex.
work through that. Are you serious? If Elsie reared in a hack once, I would literally quit.
To be fair, I had one that
I
ran on
would-
the road and I never went down the road
Yeah,
again.
no, I would actually like get on a train and go down to the bottom of Ireland and live there. She'd probably come with me though, but I wouldn't hack her again.
So
I ran away from her and brought her.
your horse rears. So you're just going home. You get on a train and go live in like Wicklow.
Yeah,
What is she gonna? She's not gonna care.
she might like those roads better. Okay.
I thought you were gonna say, is she getting on the train too?
Yeah, she can go in like the back carriage where they keep like with the.
She could pull it.
Yeah, she could. Oh, she wouldn't her after that, telling you.
Oh yeah, she's scared of the roads and then she has to pull a train. What is she scared? Is she a train behind her?
Is this your punishment? Drag a train full of people.
I don't like that. I just don't understand punishment.
Oh, well, will we get into that then? Is that count in the behavioural versus pain episode? Because punishment, you're not supposed to punish them within 3 seconds or something?
Oh my god.
Isn't that
Flashback.
3 seconds?
Flashback to our old episode.
Wasn't it? Like, didn't we talk about that? You're supposed to punish them within 3 seconds?
Yeah.
A newspaper on the nose.
Nosepaper? What's nosepaper?
It's a newspaper dedicated for noses, okay? The newspaper bonk. Like,
Bonk.
watch our previous episode called The Grass is Always Greener. It wasn't called that, it was a different episode.
It's the positive reinforcement one.
The positive, the negative, forget what it was called. Yeah, watch that about punishment. Yeah, anyway, so.
Reinforce the positive.
Yes! You got it, girl.
You can tell she does that part of the job.
It's usually me that actually names them as well. The generational difference, we talk about the generational differerences a lot, and it always comes up that basically we're the best and they're the worst. But when it comes to
First the worst.
second the best,
They're the one.
Gen A were the ones with the hairy chest.
For babies.
Gen A, are they not like 10-year-olds?
Alexa.
Yeah, so the older people, they will like 9 times out of 10 be like, ride through it.
Yeah.
He's naughty, he's taking the piss out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think horses can take the piss out of you?
Yes.
Is that not naughty?
No, that's just using their size to their advantage.
But that would be naughty. Like if a child did that, like if a big child pushed a small child in the playground because they're using their size, that would be a naughty child.
That's called being a bully.
Is your horse a bully?
Is naughty not bulliness? Wait, is bullying not naughtiness? Why am I? This whole episode is Amy trying to prove that horses can be naughty. I'm actually not that bad, I swear.
What was your question?
If a horse
I had
is, can a horse
mind
can a horse take the piss out of you?
Yeah.
She says yes, but she says that's not naughty. That's naughty to me. I don't think they can.
I think horses taking the piss. Like, what are you saying? Like your horse is dragging you to grass all the time? Like
That's naughty.
No, but is that give me what's the scenario here? know
I
this
was
is your
meaning
game,
ridden. Like some horses can know what riders they can take the mick out of. For like I have ridden a pony for somebody before.
Yeah.
The pony was an angel for me. Angel did not make a wrong move. I got off. A kid got on who wasn't experienced. Threw the kid off. Is that taking the piss out of the kid? And is that naughty? Or what could that be? Because it wasn't pain. Because unless I just squashed it that much that it couldn't actually feel its pain.
Wait,
or
they couldn't buck.
It was like a week. Probably. Probably. It was a Welsh A or something.
Oh, definitely.
It was like 12 too. But I was skinny back then though. That was my skinny era. So I was like 1 stone, yeah. So
You were so light, didn't know you were
I
on.
didn't know it was being ridden. I was just like, why am I randomly going around this arena? I don't even know what's going on. But like, would that be naughty? I would say so.
I don't know.
I think that's a smart little thing that knows what it's doing. It's wee.
I think that's relative though, because there's a difference between if I get on something and then like Bobby Joe, aged 9, gets on after me.
Bobby Joe. Okay.
Yeah, so Jojo Siwa gets on and falls off. Is that horse then naughty for doing that?
It's like when we ponies would like pull their head down and their kid like falls off the front.
That's taking the piss, and that's
But I
naughty.
don't think it is. I think it's a strength thing.
Yeah.
If the pony's pulling against you, you have the strength to keep yourself up, and then he's eventually, or she, I guess, is not gonna learn. Like they can't pull themselves out of work, so they'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
But then if a kid's on and they do that, and they're like, oh, and that's when it happens.
So that's being a chancer.
Because Cricket does that.
Oh.
She hasn't done that with me, but
She's a naughty girl.
allegedly
Yeah.
there's been kids that come off the front because if you don't ride her properly,
Yeah.
So yes, I was gonna
she
say.
trips.
Yeah.
That's not naughty.
Oh no,
But
that's
that
not
is-
naughty. I thought you meant she was going for grass.
No, she's not going for
She's
grass.
tripping and then
If you don't ride her properly, she'll put
Aye,
her
she doesn't
head to
pick
the
up her
floor
feet or whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
and she'll
yeah.
trip.
No, I would agree with that. Like I don't think that they're taking the piss. I think it's just
I think it's a lot to do with effective riding.
if they're being rode. Like if a kid's just sitting there plopping about, like you have to think this. When you're riding that there Welsh, you were probably stronger in your core. You probably weren't slamming on its back. No offense to kids, but they're not the lightest. Like not light in terms of riding work. Like they're not light with their hands, and not light with their seat.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this kid is yanking this horse's mouth, and it's probably going to be a stronger bit because the kid needs to be able to stop. So it could be in a gag, it could be in whatever, and it's constantly getting its mouth pulled. And the kid, I know kids aren't heavy, but if something's slapping on your back, even if it is only a 2 or 3 stone,
Yeah.
eventually it's going to get to the
2
point.
stone. That's
I
a
don't-
tiny
I
kid.
don't know how heavy kids are. Give me a kid's, I don't know.
I don't know, like
2 stone.
6 stone,
Okay,
7 stone.
there
I
you
don't
go,
know.
6 or 7 stone on a pony's back with getting its mouth pulled. Eventually it's going to get to the point where it's like, I don't like this. But you weren't doing that. Because you're able to
I
ride.
was really good.
Yeah, you're really good.
This
She's
is my-
really
This
good.
is my good era.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I would see it.
Yeah.
Effective
Okay.
riding.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not that they have like. It's not that their brain's going, this one isn't as good, so that means I can do this and I can do this. It's more just like, so if the horse puts its head down for grass, it's not thinking, that one's going to let me do it and that one doesn't. It's just,
I can do it.
I want grass. Oh, I
Yeah.
got it, sweet, I got grass.
But if it went to
Doesn't
pull,
give
if
a shit.
it went
Yeah.
to pull you, you'd be like, no, walk on. Because
Yeah.
they're going to say go.
Yeah.
Kids can't do that. Kids don't react as fast as us either.
I have been converted, you did it.
Yeah.
Okay, convince me on something else then.
You owe me a tenner.
Anyway, I feel like if your horse is displaying extreme behaviours, there is a need for investigation.
Extreme behaviours being
Big bucks.
Naughty. Like if your horse is being excessively, I'm putting naughty in air quotes here because
you don't believe they can be naughty.
I don't believe they
Yeah.
can be naughty in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if your horse has gone from a saint to bucking
Yes,
and
something's wrong.
getting
Right.
something's wrong.
So, I'm so on your side here and I completely understand what you're saying. But what if you bought a horse like that and you didn't know it could be good? Like you didn't know it was like it is always bucked and it's always
Is
weird
this
because
a segue?
because you bought it like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
going
I
off
do.
your thing.
Then
No, I
something's wrong
do.
with it when you bought it. You were missold. Someone scammed you.
But if you've been sold a horse going, oh yeah, when you do this at box, do you investigate that?
If they don't wear pink on Wednesdays, it'll buck you off.
This is a good segue into our pro.
I
'Cause
didn't,
that's
I didn't
what
even mean this, but it is.
But it is a good segue. This is what
This is
she
so
went
good.
through.
Yeah.
When we introduced.
Yes. I got lower and lower as this
I know,
episode
so
went
did I.
on.
And then every time we introduce something, we get like professional again. Our expert for the experts arena is Molly and the Greys from TikTok. So she went through sort of similar what we were just talking about with Moonlight, and she talks all about it. So take it away, Molly.
Hi guys, it's Molly from Molly and the Greys. You may know me from TikTok or Instagram. If you don't know me, I am an equestrian influencer, content creator, whatever you want to call it. And I make lifestyle content surrounding my 3 horses, one of which is Moonlight, who is with us today. The other 2 are Misty and Maka, who are calling in the distance because they want to be a part of it as well. But Moonlight is here for you today, and we're going to be answering some questions for the podcast. It is an honour to be here. As I said, if you don't know him, this is Moonlight. He was my first horse out of the 3 I currently own, and I bought him in January 2022. We were intending to be eventers, and then he ended up having kissing spine, unfortunately. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the symptoms he was showing. A big one for him was being completely unwilling, unable to take a contact. It was the only thing we were working on in the flat and we just couldn't get it. He couldn't relax, he couldn't work from behind, he couldn't work over his back. Everything that was our main focus, and everything else couldn't fall in because it wouldn't work. I was just trying to push him into the contact, it wasn't happening. And then the behaviour just started getting worse and worse. He ended up humping, crow hopping, bucking, whatever you want to call it. We ended up having rides where I just couldn't get him to move forward at all, or he would bolt. He would also trip quite a lot. He would go disunited in the canter. It was all things just showing that he was uncomfortable in little ways that added up into the overall picture. How do I feel about horses being labelled as dangerous? Well, this one was labelled as dangerous. I personally feel that every horse that's dangerous is just trying to communicate. I mean, horses don't act the way that's considered dangerous for no reason. For Moonlight, obviously, it ended up being pain. Unfortunately, I did try and get him diagnosed and was kind of disregarded and told it was nothing, and obviously it ended up being something. I do think that if a horse is getting labelled that way, there's something underlying, whether it is physical or whether it's in their heads. Horses are never naughty, they don't have that capacity. So why did I think that his symptoms he was showing were pain related rather than behavioural? For Moonlight, his symptoms were quite severe. I mean, when I first got him, he was rearing quite a lot, to the point where he did flip over for one of our very first rides. So I immediately jumped to taking him to the vet. I got saddles fitted, I got physios. Everyone said he was fine, but I kind of knew in my gut. I think you have to trust your gut. A lot of people do look for the help when they get told they're pony padding or they're just overthinking, they're being paranoid. I got all of those. But you know yourself, you know your horse, you know what's right for them and what's normal for them. And for me, the behaviours that he was showing weren't just naughty, because he's not a mean horse. He's a very sweet, like, he's not massively cuddly, but he's a very sweet guy, you know. He's easy to bring in from the field, he's easy to work with in every other way. It was only under saddle that he was showing these weird behaviours that he was so unhappy. Like, it couldn't really be anything except pain in my head, and it took us a while to get there. But as far as investigations, like I say, I started from the bottom up. So I got saddle fitters out, I got physios out, massage therapist, I got his teeth checked. I got every little thing done before I went to the top and just got veterinary investigations, which didn't end up coming to anything anyway. But I would say now, in my experience from before with him, if I sense something's wrong, I just go straight to the vet. As far as I'm concerned, if they find something that they can then refer me on to physio and saddle fitter, I'd much rather just go straight to the experts, like the real experts, than spend a lot of money getting the little people out when there's something underlying that is meaning that treatment doesn't have effect anyway. Like for his kissing spine, all the physio that he was getting was doing nothing because he had the underlying kissing spine. And when it came to Misty, I'm backtracking slightly, Misty had stifle and SI issues over the summer when I got her, so all the physio I was getting her wasn't doing anything because she wasn't able to work correctly from behind. So I would always recommend to people just to go straight to the vet, see what they say, get a little lameness workup, and then if it's established that they're moving fine, nothing's hurting them that needs treatment, then you can go to people like physios, chiropractors, dentists, all that. But the investigations were exhausting, mentally, financially, very exhausting. I spent a lot of money trying to get him figured out, and it was mentally taxing on me as well because I wanted my horse to be right. I knew something wasn't right with him and I couldn't get any answers, so that was a really difficult thing to overcome. Did I get backlash for investigating? Yes. You can't please people no matter what you do. When Moonlight was showing the symptoms of being in pain, I was told that I was awful, horrible, abusive for riding him, for trying to work through it. When I was investigating him, I was told I was being paranoid, I was a pony padder, that he just needed a firm hand, he needed discipline, he needed this, we needed lessons, I'm a horrible rider, that's the reason, he's fine, it's me. Anything you can think of, I've heard it. So that's why you really get to the point where you just have to trust your own gut. Like, even after I got him investigated the first time with the vet, when he got the all clear, I was then told I was being so paranoid because I still thought there was something wrong. And even people that were really close to me that I trusted their opinions were saying, Molly, you've already been to the vet, you can't just run to the vet for every little thing. Well, you know what? Now I do. Nowadays, I do. If I sense one little thing is wrong, I go straight to the vet. And usually I'm right, so you have to trust your gut. When I got the kissing spine diagnosis, did I worry about going public? Yes. I haven't really admitted this much online until now, but absolutely. The fact that I had a public profile and people had watched us kind of struggling for over a year, I knew there was going to be people that would say, I told you so, I knew you should have gone to the vet. I knew there was something wrong with him. I knew he had this. I told you he had back issues. And my only answer to that is I tried my best. I asked for help every step of the way. I went to professionals. I got let down. You know, I'm not a professional saddle fitter. I'm not a professional farrier. I'm not a professional physio. Every professional that I went to try and get him diagnosed, to get him sorted out, told me he was okay, or told me what they were doing was going to fix him, and then it didn't. So I really did try my best, and you kind of just have to accept at some point that everybody's going to have an opinion no matter what you do, so you just have to really try and do what's best for your horse. And even if you get there eventually, it's better than never. As far as people telling me to just kick on and ride through it, it was a very, very mixed bag of advice that I got. Everybody had a different thing that I should be doing with him. I do feel that looking back, I think a lot of people maybe did think I should take him back to the vet but didn't say anything, because a lot of people do get touchy over being told that their horse isn't right. I'm not one of those people. I would have liked to hear it, but I understand why they didn't, especially since I'd already been before. But nearing the end, when he was kind of getting progressively worse each ride, I did have an instructor in March tell me that there definitely was something not right with him. And then I left him off for a while, and I took him to a saddle fitter in April, and she said, yeah, look, there's something definitely not right here. I would take him back to the vet. And I said, you know what, finally, I needed someone to kind of validate my paranoia, because everything wasn't going right. And for the people that were telling me to just kick on through it and just keep riding and he'll come right eventually, or that he was just a difficult youngster, it was nice to finally get the people that were a bit more on my paranoid horse mom side. And then there was a third group of people who thought I was like the bee's knees for being able to ride him, which I thought was very interesting. Like, him being a difficult horse that you had to have a good seat to stay on. You also get a lot of praise from people saying that you're an amazing rider for being able to stick that, and wow, well sat, and oh my goodness, she's so good for being able to handle him, which I think it does come into the sport a lot, that there is like a sense of pride at being able to ride these difficult horses that are in fact trying to tell us something. And then a lot of the time the people around you are going, wow, you're able to ride that, like, you guys are amazing. So in a way then sometimes problems don't get diagnosed because they're getting praise for being able to sit it, if that makes sense. So just as a closing statement, for anybody that's struggling with a horse, that's showing any kind of symptoms of being in pain, and they're getting so many outside opinions and they don't know what to do, they feel like they're stuck, they've tried this, they don't know where to go next, trust your gut, trust yourself, trust what you feel is the right thing to do, and do it, because your horse will thank you. I mean, me and Moonlight, our bonds, as cliche as it sounds, our bond is like as strong as it can be because we've been through this together, and they will thank you after it all. Don't worry about judgment from other equestrians, don't worry about negative opinions, because you're going to get those regardless. Just think about your horse, think about what's best for them, no matter what. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much to Molly for sending that video in. There is a lot of points that we all basically agree with, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
The thing that stuck out was what she said at the end about how she was getting praise for like riding this naughty horse and being able to sit to it.
Yeah.
And that is such a thing that, like, I don't know, like if like a younger teenager or whatever has a horse and they're like, oh, I'm class, mine bucks and I can sit to it.
You see it though on social comments sometimes, you know.
A lot,
Like,
yeah.
oh wow, your seat's amazing, like you're doing so well with that naughty horse. Like, no.
A lot of like bigger accounts that have horses that have behavioural issues or pain related issues, and they're getting praised for, oh my god, like you're riding so well, like I can't believe you can ride around like that.
So it was such an interesting point, because something I actually would never have thought of.
Yeah.
Like
But
it's
it's so true,
so valid. And then it's like the traction as well that you get. Like you could post a video of your show jumping round and you know it's a clear round and it's easy going. But then you could post one of your horses like leaping bucking everywhere, and that one will always get more interaction.
People like to see that because it's entertaining.
Do you think it's because it's like the quote unquote norm? Like, do you know, it's entertaining?
I think it's entertaining because of what Molly said, because people are like, wow, how did you sit that?
Yeah.
Like, your horse is doing these crazy things.
Yeah.
And people, there is, she's right, there is two sides. Some people will go, get off that animal, something's wrong, and other people will go, you're class. And I think the younger, more impressionable ones will who maybe don't have the best advice around them, they're not gonna look into their naughty horse.
And
Yeah.
another
Because,
another thing that she was saying there is being let down by professionals.
Yeah, we've touched on this before, and this is
Yeah.
something like privately we all feel very
So
very strongly about.
disappointing though.
In,
So
in our
disappointing.
country, in Northern Ireland,
We're-
the
we're
standard is
non-existent.
there is no standard. Our professionals across all boards, like not just saying like one.
I don't feel like we're not trying to discredit people that have put years and years into school and years of training, because obviously you've got your bad few between the bunch always in every aspect of your
Yes.
life. Like there is some here now, thankfully, that are great, but it's taken us so long to get to this point and we're still behind.
And I still struggle with certain things
Me
to
too.
find
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's like, oh, there's always one bad egg.
Yeah.
It's more like there's one good egg
Yeah,
in,
I
in our
guess.
batch.
Yeah.
Like, they're all
And they're
bad
so
eggs.
hard to get because they're the best egg.
Yes, so
They're
there's
like the
one-
golden egg.
There's one golden egg, and he's booked
Lots
out.
of rotten
He's
ones.
booked out till 2027, so you're not getting helped out by him.
No, you're so right. It was such a valid point actually.
Yeah,
And like there's nothing more like unmotivating and probably like makes you then get a bit paranoid.
It's disheartening.
Yeah, that's a great word. It's like you're trying your best. You're trying to put everything in because you know something's not right. And the people that you would go to for the knowledge and like the people that have the experience and the trust there are making you feel paranoid because they don't believe
Yeah.
you.
They're almost dismissing you.
Yeah.
They're dismissing, like, particularly if you've had a horse for a while
Yeah.
and you know that something's wrong,
yeah.
and you go to your professional and say, this is wrong, and they're like, looks fine to me.
So for something like Kiss and Spines, what would she have had to have done to find that? Is it like a scan?
An
X-ray.
X-ray.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if you palpate their back and there's no reaction, then the vet might be like, oh, then why
Why do you want
X-ray?
X-ray?
Yeah,
Or if he trots up sound, why X-ray?
yeah.
But it's like,
But they all show symptoms differently.
yes,
Yeah.
Every horse is not the exact same. So
But it's the same as people.
yeah,
Yeah.
People are the same, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to
big,
fight
yeah.
to have.
Let me spend
What-
my money on
yeah.
X-rays if I want to spend my money
If
on
you,
X-rays.
and
Yeah,
even
no,
if
that's so true.
even if the vet thinks they don't need it, like if you want X-rays, if you want X-rays of all their legs,
You should be able
He
to
should
book
be
it
able to
in.
do it.
doing that for you if,
Yeah.
if you're his customer, client,
That's
whatever
very
they call it.
sexist.
Why?
he
I don't know any female vets. You have a female vet, don't you?
Do I? I don't know.
Well, the last time you said
I do,
you
yeah.
said she.
I use female vets. I use all vets.
Okay, if they. Goddamn. I don't discriminate with my vets. If you're that client, you're the client, you're the customer. Like they're gonna get paid. Why not do it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they,
interesting
It's
that.
not their. But they might just be like, this is a waste of time, and I have somewhere else to be. Like if they are the good egg.
Yes, but you can book things in. Like there is appointments for that.
Yeah, exactly. So you could just be like, if we've no time this week, can we do it next week?
Yeah, can I book in like a set of X-rays?
But it's dismissing, and I also think this might not have been the situation, but Molly being a young female, I feel we would be more likely to be dismissed than an older, more experienced horse
Yeah.
person,
It's
because
been in the
they,
industry for longer.
yeah, they might just dismiss it as like, "Ugh, like that kid doesn't know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that could be
An
that
influential
type of
factor.
thing does happen,
Yeah.
and that is a fact. We do know that type of thing happens.
But I
just
think if
in-
you have a feeling in your gut, like
Yeah.
you should
Like
investigate
yeah, like
it.
Molly said, just
Yeah.
push through it. Like trust yourself,
Yes,
trust your
that's,
opinion.
that's the best advice. Like we're talking about all these random scenarios about is your horse naughty, is it not? If it's acting naughty and it's behaving in a naughty manner, it might be brushed under the rug as naughty.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your gut. If it's randomly bucking and it never used to, or if it's randomly rearing or anything, even if it's not that dramatic, even if it's randomly pinning its ears when it sees a saddle, but it still rides normal, there might be something.
See, I think like Molly was saying, horses can't talk. All behaviour is communication at the end of
Yeah.
the day. You need to be looking at those little subtle signs.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
what I
said,
was
you,
gonna say.
you lift that girth up and you know its ears pin, or like you put the bridle on, you can put the bridle on the horse, turn its head away. It's communicating, and
Yep.
it's down to you as the owner. It's your responsibility to listen to those whispers
Before
and not
it
wait for
becomes
the
a scream.
screaming.
Yeah, you have to advocate for the animals because they can't talk.
No,
So
and it's a privilege, in my opinion, to be able to sit on a horse, like any horse.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that you deserve and they deserve to be able to do it comfortably, and like I feel like it's a right that you have for your horse to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Like investigate the swishy tail or the pinned ears or anything like that before it
Yeah.
becomes
So
bucking.
what would you say then? Investigating swishy tails, the pain face, which we briefly talked about earlier. then you were saying flared nostrils, tight muzzles, triangle eyes.
Yeah.
Triangular eyes is a big one, and pinned ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad eyes, I call it.
Sad eyes.
Elsie had sad eyes when she was colican. Very
That
sad
was
eyes.
it was a very telltale sign that she was sore.
That's how I knew well, obviously I knew she was like colican because she was colican.
Mhm.
But when I was like hand walking her around, I knew she was sick and ill
because of the
because
eyes.
of her like her face was sad. She had a sad face. She had, like,
Yeah.
it was hanging her head like Eeyore. It wasn't her.
So, like, would you say these are our subtle signs that we have to look in before the big signs? Like, the big signs to maybe be
Fucking
stopping,
stuff, yeah.
you know, stopping offences
Yeah.
or bucking after fences, rearing, napping. They're big signs to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the scream. You have to
But
notice.
yeah, but
if-
the whispers are like the pain faces.
yes,
Yeah.
the subtle things like
Oh, the disunited was a big one that Molly said, like those,
yeah,
or like struggling to pick up the canter.
and that might be
Yeah.
something that you would be able to pin down to training. You might just say, "Oh, that horse is unbalanced."
He's young, yeah.
This is where like trusting your gut and knowing your animal comes into it. So
Yeah.
if that is the only sign, it might just be imbalance. But if there's something else like a pain face when the saddle comes out or anything
Mhm.
like that, you kind of I think you just have to be really in tune with your horse. I think you do have to trust your gut, like Molly said, and I think you need to
Yeah.
be careful who you listen to,
I would say don't be afraid to get a second opinion.
and definitely don't be afraid
Yeah.
to get a second opinion, because if Molly didn't, like Moonlight would still be acting that way, and she would
Yeah.
have no answers. She went and got a second opinion,
Yeah.
got his surgery, and now she has a horse that she can ride.
Yeah.
Do you know, that might not have happened if she had just went with whatever that first vet
No.
said as gospel. So
And he does look so chill.
yeah, in
And
that video,
like
was
a
just
chill
hanging
guy.
out. And
He's like Snoopy Snoozy at the
yeah,
end.
yeah, definitely. So I think I do think you need to be careful who you listen to.
Trust your gut.
Mm-hmm.
I know what to your horse to do right by them is what I would
Trust
say.
your gut's the best advice, just in life ever.
Yeah, in any
Always-
situation, trust your
Always
gut.
trust your gut. Like if you go into a yard and it feels weird, don't move there.
Yeah.
Like just when it comes to horses and life in general, trust your gut.
What's our song? Pony game, pony game,
Woo woo woo.
pony game, pony game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Pony game, pony game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pony game, pony game.
Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, you were going to go for another verse? She's got like a full music production. Right. Dr. Dre over here.
My beats, maybe.
I always like to do this when I'm doing the game because I feel like a game show host. I do need a song, don't I? And I need to put on a suit and tie, a bow tie, a sparkly gold
I
bow
have
tie.
a ball cap and upstairs you want it.
Would that be ridiculous?
I have a tie and I'll do. For my pitbull costume.
Okay, right, let's do the game. Okay, it's called Naughty or Not. I'm gonna give you some scenarios, and you're gonna tell me, is this horse being naughty? Would you prefer the term cheeky? Because you seem
Yeah,
to
I
be
think cheeky.
triggered by the word naughty.
Yeah, it triggers my fight or flight.
Okay, I'll say cheeky. So naughty or not? Biting when doing the girth. Naughty? Girl, where have you been this whole episode? Do you just have a personality split?
Yeah, that's true.
Why is that naughty? I would say that's a pain sign. Cancel Robin.
I just had a full on stroke.
I am gonna say not is what my answer is in capitals, but I don't know what she's on.
She didn't answer.
I said not.
Oh.
She did say not. She looked at you, was like, not. Okay, this one. Next one is not being caught. Naughty. Okay, what do you think?
I'm confused by this game.
Is the horse acting naughty or
But
not?
I've already said horses can't be naughty. So, no.
why would well, you said that, but you know. Right. A horse not being caught. Naughty or not?
Like, is he running away from me?
Yeah. You won't want to be caught.
When I hit my like I said call, he like sprints away.
Yeah, like he sees you coming, he's like, walks away.
I don't know. I would say no, because yeah, I'm gonna say no.
And you said naughty.
Yeah.
See, I have down as the answer naughty / situational. Because sometimes they might be just being a little bit cheeky because they want to hang out in the field a bit longer, but sometimes they might know if they get brought in, they get ridden, and that hurts.
yeah,
So it
that's
is
what I was thinking.
situational, I think. But I accept naughty because I also have that.
Because like, what if he just like turned him out and then they have to come in, and he's like, oh, I don't want caught. I just got put out.
Yeah,
Like things like that.
that would
I
be
think
naughty.
that's naughty.
Yeah, that's cheeky.
But
Like do
then
what you're told.
if
Oh,
it's
that sounded
like-
so harsh and mean. But yeah, do what you're told or you die. Like, not that I'm gonna kill you, but like, yeah, you're a horse under my care. You kind of have to do what you're told, or you may die.
Oh,
You know? No, I'm not gonna kill it. It just might die.
you want to threaten Elsie?
Like I'm like,
Elsie,
dude,
trot on, or
okay.
else I'm going to kill you.
No, like do what you're told, go in your stable, or you'll walk around
you'll
and
die.
No, you'll walk around and eat everyone's hard feed, and then you'll die. Like,
You have a gun to her
No.
head all the time.
no, stop.
The train's gonna run her over.
Next, naughty or not. Horse barges past you and out the stable door.
All of these need context clues and we don't have them.
The horse barged past you. And
What's the context?
the horse is barged past you. That's the whole story.
Why?
Naughty.
Because no, we already said this earlier. It was not. We already said Elsie was not naughty for doing
That is naughty.
That is naughty.
No.
Stay in your stable. It doesn't matter what's outside. You should have the best manners in the world. Stay inside or get the bonk.
Train your horse better.
There was a day. No. He was in his
Okay, that's why I'm
stable.
bonking it with
Why
the
is she
stable.
so tall?
He was in his
The
stable.
rage is
Had a
screwed.
hanger. Had a treat ball. And I opened the door. He just tried to walk out past me, and I was like,
Yeah, naughty.
"Get in!"
Naughty. I
I
agree.
just don't think he had ground manners.
Yeah, well,
But that's naughty.
It's not.
It is. Not. Okay. I was gonna start a fight.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
It's fucking naughty. Right?
You made dinner.
I made the game, but you have to say my answer or you're all wrong.
Oh, so is it guess Amy's answer or is it what, I'm on your foot again? Is it guess Amy's answer or is it let me be my own person and say my answer?
Well, you told me earlier on that I had to do what you said or something.
I had a stroke.
Okay. Right, listen. This game is only like 4 bullet points. It's taken forever. Bucking when going into canter. Naughty or not?
not.
Not. I have not, and then I also have slash situational. Because of what we said earlier, like
Like you see,
the
Like
first
freshness?
jump in
Yeah,
5
fair.
months, they might do a little buck.
but
Going
you're
into
not
canter. Well, maybe that canter is leading to a jump.
jumping. Your first canter is you jumping. Girl, form your horse jump.
Okay. Next, biting your pockets.
Okay, are these just all Elsie core?
She doesn't do that.
You said earlier she does.
She nibbled my knee.
You know, you said it was in your pockets.
I don't get.
Cut back to the point where Amy said Elsie's in my pocket.
Was that an example though? I don't give her treats, so she doesn't know what goes in a pocket.
Clearly,
She, usually when I go in my pocket, it means there's Swedish cream is coming and she runs away.
Oh no!
Like my queen. Don't queen me. I want to itch my skin so bad that it falls off and I'm bleeding. No, you're getting your cream. Right, naughty or not, biting pockets.
Naughty.
I agree. She's right and you're wrong. What's your answer, Robin?
I'm gonna have to say naughty. Oh, I'm gonna get bullied in my own home.
But do you think it's naughty?
Biting your
Biting
pockets.
pockets.
What's in my pocket?
A treat.
Well then, no, I don't think it is naughty.
Do you not think your horse should have manners and leave your pocket alone?
Pepsi would never.
If we're not
She would just
talking
go.
about Pepsi's golden child.
Pepsi would just smile at me.
Yeah. I already did it when you weren't looking. I sound like a seal. Okay, next. Rearing going into the horse box.
No,
No.
that's scared.
Yeah, I have not, but not in capitals. I just have it in baby writing.
Not. He's scared.
Okay, next.
You said 4 bullet points. This is like
I know.
number
There's
7.
been like 18.
When I say things, I don't mean them. Do you not know this?
Why do you say it then?
This podcast is a sham. Spinning and running from a plastic bag on the road.
It's not naughty. He's just scared.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, that's just fair.
So I have the answer is depends on your view. Because some people, it is fear that like there's no doubt that's a spook.
Yeah, but
some
the people find fear to be naughty.
Yeah, some people would see a spook as like, oh, he's being a wee, get on, whatever. Or some people would see that as like, oh, like it's okay, I can't. Like it just depends on your
Yeah,
view
but-
and how you are as a horseman.
That wouldn't be the plastic bag to me. That would be like at a hole in the hedge that's been there for 3 months. You'd be like, why are you spooking? Get
A
on.
plastic bag would spook me more than my horse, probably.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
What do you mean? If a horse been in a hedge for 5
No,
years,
but there's like literally studies that have been out there that say the horses can't think like that. Like just because the hole is in the hedge for 5 years, one, someone needs to do better gardening, but that's besides the point.
it's the hedge where Homer Simpson the meme goes into.
I don't want Simpsons.
It's a meme, you know, where Homer goes in the hedge.
I mean, it sucks back in.
Yes.
Yeah, like how do you know he's not in there, Alex?
Oh god. Yeah, but a hole in the hedge for 5 years. So why is it randomly on this one Thursday in December? Why are you scared of that hedge?
Because there could be something in it that you don't know. Like it could
But
be
I
a little,
do-
like a little shrew in there. Yeah, like a little mouse. You don't know. Are you going?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, why is she scared of mice then? That's silly. Mice run around the yard all the time.
I don't know. Maybe they're scary. Elephants are scared of them, so I can't Elsie be.
Mice live in Max's stable. That's so funny. He hangs out with them.
That's so cute.
There's like a wee hole to come in and out. He's just like, oh, my mouse is here.
There could be something that you don't know, or like when they catch it, because like, they don't see like we do, they see like behind them, so it could look scary to them. There could be something through the holes that you can't see that they can.
Can they see us when we're on them? Because they can see behind, so they can probably see like my penguin toes when I ride. Like all the else he sees is 2 feet going the wrong way.
But the horses can't see directly
So
behind them.
if I put my foot like that, and she doesn't know I'm on her, if I have proper toes when I'm riding, she knows I'm there because my penguin toes.
Maybe because she can feel you on her back.
I'm a feather. Well, our listeners, take the rein. We're playing Naughty or Not over there too. So I'm going to upload some pics of horses doing or displaying certain behaviours, and I want to see what y'all think. Is it naughty or not? Okay, well, thanks for rearing on this episode. I have been Amy. You can find me at @AmyCopa at TikTok.
All the people who are just like me.
Yeah.
I've been Robin. You can find me at RH Show Jumping on Instagram and Robin Hartley on TikTok.
I've been Alex. You can find me at ab.eq on TikTok and Instagram.
And you can find the podcast on @TheSassyMars on TikTok and Instagram and Spotify and YouTube.
But you already know that.
Because you're already there. Like and subscribe.
Bye.
And rate us and review and maybe leave a comment.